Hello guys, how are we doing and welcome back to the channel. I have some really exciting news to tell you all today about Black Ops 6 Ranked Play. We've received the first official blog update from Treyarch and Call of Duty themselves. In today's video, we're going to be going through a breakdown of what that includes, such as some changes and improvements they've made, a forfeit system, how SR is going to work, the rewards, and a bunch more in today's video. I do also want to touch on a bunch of things I've added to Season 1 which might affect Ranked Play, but we're going to touch that on a different video, including the maps. So the gameplay we've got in the background is competitive gameplay as well. It's a 4v4, so sort of probably what you're going to sort of see in the year, although it's not my best gameplay, it's just a competitive gameplay I thought would be suitable to have with a Ranked Play video. So, release date. Ranked Play for Black Ops 6 releases on November the 21st, 1 week after the start of Season 1. Which is really nice because that allows the pros test the new maps that come with Season 1. They're not releasing the rules yet of what guns are going to be GA'd, what map mode combos we're going to see yet. That will be coming just prior to Ranked Play release, so I'll be showing that in that video. But as I say, November 21st, put it in your calendar, book the day off work if you want to really try hard, and let's crack on with what else we've got to come. So Treyarch have basically made sure that Ranked Play remains pretty much the same. It's the same rules. It will mimic the same rules that are in comp in the CDL, but it comes with some more streamlined, innovative things. So it's building on what they've had in MW2, or Vanguard, MW2, and MW3, and just made it better. So previously, in Call of Duty, in Ranked Play, there were ranks, which went from 1 to 50. These had nothing to do with your skill. It was more how many wins you got. And they're pretty much scrapping this. So I don't know if you remember, you started with an animal, and then you eventually got to the dragon. When you got to rank 15, you got your calling card or whatever. It pretty much meaningless, other than gave you an idea of the time played by said player. So they're pretty much scrapping that. What they're doing now is the rank represents what was previously your skill division and tier. So tier 2, Crim, so Crim 2, for example, would be your skill division and tier. So yeah, so SR is in the same 8 ranks, so it goes bronze, silver, gold, plat, diamond, crimson, iridescent, and then top 250. And then the progressive rank victory stars system you've seen in previous ranked players, I say, have been removed completely to streamline the experience and focus more on the skill of a player rather than how much time they put into it, which might be linear anyway. Now, skill rating. So a little bit of an update on what they've done to SR, if you want to call it. Progress through ranks by earning SR by winning of Ranked Play matches. So it's basically exactly the same. SR is awarded after each Ranked Play win, and the amount earned, and this is an interesting bit, the amount earned is determined by the player's distance away from their projected rank. So there is still going to be an HPR, a hidden performance rating in the game, i.e. your projected rank. So that's going to affect how much SR you get. Their match performance is also going to affect your SR, the margin of the victory as well. So all of those things are going to combine to bring you SR. I don't mind that. I think that's a good way to get the sweats out of bronze really quickly, or silver, gold really quickly, because their projected rank will be higher, and therefore the golds and silver players won't have to be playing iridescence for a while before they move up to where they should belong. Obviously, going throughout this, I want to hear your thoughts on. Your thoughts are more valuable than mine. You're many people. I'm just a solo man. But yeah, SR pretty much remains the same as it has been by the looks of this one paragraph as it has been in previous Call of Duties, which I don't mind. New feature, map and mode veto. So how this is going to work, before every single ranked game, the game is going to present to the whole lobby, all 8 players, 3 map mode combinations. So say, for example, it could be Vorkuto S&D, D-Ray, I can't remember maps, but 3 separate map mode combos, and each team votes on one. Let's say number 1 and number 2 are both voted out. The third one will be the one picked. If both teams pick the same one, the game will randomly pick between the other 2 remaining to select it. So it gives you an idea, gives you a chance to sort of pick what maps you want. So if you are really cracked at a certain map and you can't stand certain maps, so say for example on Vanguard, if you're a Bocage hater, or if you hated Invasion Control, that could be an instant veto every time you load in when it comes up, if you would like. So yeah, it gives you a chance to annoyingly not play the maps you want you get bad at, which means it's probably going to be even more sweaty and even more competitive. But I really like that. That's a real nice addition to the game, in my opinion. Second new feature they've added is a forfeit mode. So I don't know if you guys have known or know what the Valorant forfeit mode was like, but it's very much similar to that. So whether or not your team are getting absolutely smashed and demolished by the opponents, and you're like, why am I playing? What's the point? If someone leaves by accident, or you're just in an unfortunate circumstance where the game is literally unwinnable and you want to just forfeit the game. You want to quit, but you can't because it will lose your SR. What you can do is vote to forfeit. And what that will do, it will bring up an option for the rest of your team, and you have to, every single one of your team has to vote to forfeit, and then you'll be backed out of the game. It'll end the match. It'll give the win to the other opponents. You'll get a loss for it, just a standard loss. It won't punish you. This is something that's really important. This won't punish you. It won't result in an SR penalty or suspension. You will just get a loss for that. It will affect your hidden performance rating more, because you forfeited a match, which is more embarrassing, more of a defeat than going toe-to-toe with an enemy. But generally, it gives you the chance to go, you know what, these guys are clearly better than me. They're Smurfs, I've got a man down, whatever, you can forfeit the match. You can't forfeit right away. So let's say you load in and you look at the other team and you're like, I know these guys. These are pro players, or these are challenger players. I've played them before. There's no way we're winning this. You can't insta-vote to forfeit. That's something that isn't allowed in the game. On hardpoint, you have to wait until one team has at least 100 points. On control, you can vote after the first round. On S&D, you can only vote to forfeit after 3 rounds. So it gets you to get a feel for the game before just rage quitting, essentially, before forfeiting. But again, a really nice feature that will hopefully streamline and make the game more enjoyable. You're not going to have to sit there in an unwinnable match for 15 minutes if it's a control game. You can forfeit if your team decide it's the best thing to do. A new update, which is huge for those of you who want to play with your friends. Myself, I've got friends who don't play, from friends I know from real life who don't grind the game as much as I do. So when I'm hitting Iridescent, they're not quite in Crimson to play with me. This is a huge change. Full parties of 4, so this isn't 3s or 2s or 1s. Full parties of 4, so you have to be in a 4-stack, can now play together in ranked play regardless of their skill division, regardless of their rank, whatever you want to call it. Skill matchmaking will be based, though. You won't get an average, because otherwise it will just mean that the top player dominates. Skill matchmaking will be based on the highest rank in the party. And then party skill restrictions obviously still apply to parties made up of 2 or 3 players, obviously. So it is only for a 4-stack. So what this means, let's make that really simple for you guys. If I'm playing with a silver player, 3 silver friends, let's say. I've got 3 friends who I want to play with. Let's say I'm Iridescent. I'm playing with 3 silver friends. I can play with them. That's fantastic. But what they've done, we will be coming across other Iridescent lobbies, because it will take the highest rank of that team's matchmaking to decide what team it is. So it's not going to be enjoyable for your teammates, unfortunately, unless you are closer. But it does give you the option to try and carry them if you would like to do so. The next thing they've changed, another good change I think, is the seasonal setback. So previously, what used to happen is no matter what rank you were, let's say you were Crim 2, you'd go down 3 whole tiers. You'd go to Diamond 2. If you were Gold 1, you'd go down to Silver 1. However, I lied actually the first bit. Anything above Crimson, I guess anything above Crimson will be demoted back down to Diamond 1. So Crimson 3 will go back to Diamond 1. Top 250, number 1 rank will go down back to Diamond 1. But if you, as I say, if you were Plat 2, you'd go down to Gold 2. So that's how it would work in the past. What they've done now is for Bronze and Silver players, so the players who probably haven't played too much and they're, part-time grinders, they are simply not impacted by the seasonal setback and will be able to pick up where they left off each season with no SR deductions. So let's say, for example, at the end of Season 1, you managed to get to Silver 3. When Season 2 comes around, you're not then going to go back to Bronze 3, you're going to stay Silver 3. Really good change. For Gold and Platinum players, you'll start the season you'll start the next season in the Tier 1 of whatever rank you're in. So say, for example, let's say you in Season 1 you got to Plat 3, sorry. When the next season resets, you'll go down to Plat 1. Even if you were Plat 2, you'd go back to down to Plat 1. And even if you were Plat 1, you'd stay at Plat 1. So no matter what the skill division is, within Gold and Platinum, you'll go back down to the first tier of that skill rating, which means it will keep you in the same rank at the start. You'll never drop completely a new rank from Bronze to Plat. you will stay bronze and plat when the new season starts, which is really good news. It keeps the progression up, and it means you can probably hit a higher peak in this game if you can't put the hours into it. Now, for Diamond and above players, unfortunately, it does stay the same. If you're in Crim, or whether you're Crim 1 or top 250, top 10, let's say, you will all be demoted back to Diamond 1. So that's the standard, literally the standard, as it was in previous CODs. There's now loss forgiveness. This is another update, another change, another new thing that I think is a good thing they've implemented. So no matter what your rank, each player's first loss of the day will be forgiven and not deduct SR. So let's say you're rusty, first day on, you know, I've just loaded up, just cracking the knuckles a bit, you load on and you lose. You won't lose SR if it's the first game you're on. Great, that's perfect. The only thing I would say to you is don't abuse that, because it will still count as a loss towards your projected rank. It will still impact your hidden performance rating, your hidden performance rank. So it still counts as a loss for that. So it affects your long-term potential for your rank, but you won't lose rank. You won't lose an SR for that first loss. Additionally, what has happened in the past, the first 3 games into a new rank. So say, for example, I went from Diamond 3 to Crim. My first 3 games, win or loss, will not, you know, any losses within the first 3 games I play, will not deduct SR from me. So let's say I got to Crim 1, I then have 3 games where I can, even if I lost all 3 games, I wouldn't lose SR. If I won the first 2 and lost the third, I wouldn't lose SR. But those are the only 3 games, whether you win or lose, that will, you know, you'll have that little buffer of SR protection. The change with that is it will only be for the first 3 losses. So let's say you went from Plat 3 to Diamond 1 and you lost the first 3 games. You don't lose any SR for that. But let's say you went from Plat 3 to Diamond 1 and you won 3 and lost 3. In that order, you'd get the SR for the first 3 wins, but the first 3 losses still won't lose your SR. So every time you get into a new rank, you won't lose SR for the first 3 losses, no matter what, which I think is a really good change. It'll keep some momentum up and stops, you know, it makes you less fearful of trying to rank up, which I think is really nice. Rank play rewards are still a thing. There's a really nice top 250 champion, which is the #1, which is super rare, has a really cool camo. The skins themselves look pretty decent, but it's the same color scheme. It's pretty standard. It's not too shocking. There's going to be challenges. There's going to be seasonal rewards. There's going to be weapon builds, all late into rank play, as we have had in the past. So I think the rewards, although may be better, the structure and format of them will pretty much stay the same. So yeah, super pumped. I can't wait. Let me know your thoughts down below. And as I say, I'll be covering more of Season 1 generally in my next video tomorrow. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your night, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.
And then you don't see, It's just so weird.
That's for the kill cam, you mean?
Oh, no, like throughout the game.
Mid game, I can see it. I don't know what you're talking about. I have